Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Brock Talk. This is my podcast where I just hit record. I have a few topics I want to discuss, and I just start talking. This is the historic episode number. I can't remember. I genuinely just forgot how many this has been. It hasn't been many, so I'm gonna look it up real quick on my phone. This is episode 5. All right. This is the historic episode 5 that I start by forgetting everything. Thanks everybody for clicking on this video, checking it out. Thanks for all the support we've gotten over the past couple of weeks. This has been a great month for the channel. We reached our goal of 140 subscribers, so I'm going to clap like that, do this awkward kind of, maybe that's the Brock Talk clap, which is also kind of like a safety in football. The goal is to try to get to 8 episodes right now. This is number 5, so counting this one, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 4 episodes after I'm done with this, it'll be 3. Again, math is hard. I'm not that smart. Anyway, this episode, I want to record Brock Talk. And I have been sitting here. I have one topic in mind. There's another one I decided to go with, but I was like, I really want to record. I can't decide what else I'm going to talk about. So I just decided I'm going to hit record. And I don't have any notes for this one, just like some stuff I've been thinking in my head, some stuff I want to talk about. And I want to try to push through. I've had I don't know if it's quite writer's block, but I've been I don't know what video I want to make, so I'm trying to just hit record, make a video. If it's bad, I don't care. I'm just trying to get some stuff out there. I think we've got some nice momentum now, so let's keep it going. The thing I wanted to talk about, one of the things, is some historic news. Well, not historic. I guess it is historic. Everything's history, right? In a way. That Bernie Burns, one of the founding members of Rooster Teeth, has purchased Rooster Teeth and is planning on bringing it back. They released the video on the channel called Homecoming. Bernie Burns on his podcast Morning Somewhere talked about it. This comes 10 months after Rooster Teeth was shut down. Yes, shut down. I think that's the right term, where Rooster Teeth and all of its, I'm going to use a business term, subsidiaries? That's probably not right. All the branches of Rooster Teeth were essentially broken one by one, and it's been 9 or 10, I think now it'll be 10 months. Maybe it was 9 months ago when he released the video. I don't freaking remember. I should look this stuff up before I talk about it, right? Anyway, the point of this is that Bernie has announced that Rooster Teeth is back. Okay, Rooster Teeth is no longer gone. And so a little bit of inside baseball for the viewers, a little bit of peeling of the curtain. There's a lot of reasons why I started making YouTube videos, and I'm not going to discuss all of them right now. Maybe in the future I'll make a full video on why I decided to try out YouTube. But one of the big reasons that went in, I'd say maybe top 3 reasons that I started uploading videos again. I was like, okay, Rooster Teeth is gone. It's over. No more Rooster Teeth, no more Achievement Hunter, no more Funhouse, no more all these other things. And also at the time that Rooster Teeth was going down, some important creators in the space, in the creative worlds, I don't want to get into who they are if you've been following the internet for the past year plus. But there were some people, some important internet personalities also getting in trouble. And so a part of me just felt hey, maybe there's some room to grow here. Maybe there's an absence of people, people need something new to watch. A new character, new personality, that being me, of course. Maybe there's a bunch of people trying to find a new channel. And now, to be fair, a lot of people from Rooster Teeth have gone on to, they've all created their own separate stuff. A bunch of people have broken off into a bunch of other channels. The same thing with Funhouse and all that other stuff. They're making their own content, and not that me making stuff instantly means that there's a bunch of people watching or whatever. But it still just felt hey, I think there's some room to move up, and I stand by that. So, started uploading videos, started doing stuff, and then a few months later, they're Rooster Teeth is back. Now, the channel Rooster Teeth itself still has 9 million subscribers, or maybe they just got back to 9 million subscribers. So I think people will watch and people will return. I have no idea how Bernie is going to do it. I think things like Ruby and the Funhouse, all those other properties, I think were sold to was it Warner Brothers? So, yeah, or AT&T. I don't know. They were bought by I know they were bought by a big company. But so, and I don't know even know will anybody want to come back? We'll see. I think it's an exciting time. Kind of I think everything every once in a while needs a nice reset. Needs a nice give it a couple of months break, come back to it. I know there's a chance that you lose viewers, but you probably lose viewers regardless. So something I think it's really cool what Fortnite did, where they'll have the servers shut down for a day or two, and then that's when the new chapter starts, and then there's all this new stuff. I think almost everything I think needs that. And now it is funny to think about. I bet somebody thought Fortnite was shut down permanently and stopped playing, and maybe to this day has no idea Fortnite is still a game. I feel like that's happened somewhere. It's kind of unlikely, but I like to imagine that somewhere somebody's just living their life oh man, remember when Fortnite was a game? No, not anymore. So maybe somebody thought that with Rooster Teeth. They're oh, I miss Rooster Teeth. No more Rooster Teeth. And now it's they're back, and there's still somebody who has no idea and may never know. Not that. So now they're back, and I guess and I'm very thankful and very grateful for all the traction I've been getting. I don't say this in a cocky way. I don't think that'll change. I don't think there's going to be a significant drop. And again, Bernie still has to do a bunch of stuff to set up. But all I'm saying is that we're not exactly. I'm not running parallel to Rooster Teeth or anything like that, right? I am. I don't want to be well, guys, Rooster Teeth is back, so I got to throw in the towel. They were my number one competitors. They don't know who I am, but one day they will. One day they'll know about the Big Hat Army, which is a name I just thought of and probably won't stay with unless it gets over in the community. What was the other point I wanted to bring up? Oh yes, so Rooster Teeth. I feel this is a weird position to be in though, because we had the emotional goodbye, we had the everyone on the stage. There's some tears being shed. There's some emotional hugs, some emotional embraces. Everyone's this is it. So it feels we moved on. We had that closure in a way, or there was the loss, and then there was time to kind of process it. Now we're on to the next chapter. And it feels not long after that, Rooster Teeth is back. So to me, it's in this weird spot of remember when we did this big goodbye? And we were ready to move on, but now it's back. So I don't know. I'm hopeful Bernie can bring back some of the original, give us some of that old Rooster Teeth feel. But also, I'm always a fan of make something new, make something unique. Don't just make this. I don't know. Don't just do it again. Don't just reanimate a dead corpse. Okay, it's dead and smells bad, so we don't want to deal with that. I also think, I watch Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth is a big part of my life. I watched them on and off throughout their time. I watched Rooster Teeth on and off. I watched Achievement Hunter on and off. I never finished Red vs. Blue, but I watched a lot of that. So it is important to me. But I feel I'm in the majority, and a lot of people can relate to that. I wasn't really watching near the end. When they announced it was over, I started to watch a couple of videos near the end of it. And it seemed I don't know, some of the people kind of soured on the content a little bit. They did a video where it was the big three. It was Bernie, it was Gus, it was Jeff, and it was Matt. Is that his name? The guy who played Sarge. I'm blanking on his name right now. I'm just going to look it up. It's my podcast. I can do whatever I want. I'm going to look it up real quick. Who played Sarge in Red versus Blue? Matt, yes, okay. So they did a video where it was the four of them just playing split screen on the original Xbox, playing Halo Combat Evolved. I think it was the original Xbox. I can't remember, but it was something. It was a throwback like that. And I liked the video, and I remember I was watching the video and I read the comments, and a lot of people were saying, unironically, this is the best content Rooster Teeth has put out over the past however many years. So I guess people just want something simple. They want those four guys, or some of those original guys, just to be hanging out, gaming. And that's all fun and good. Well, I had a point I was going to say off of that. But I don't know. So, like, are those people going to be interested in coming back? Again, did people have their closure? Are they ready to move on? We'll see. I think it's an exciting time. Regardless, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird too, because Bernie, like, he like moved out of the country. Like he was like happy with his position and moved to like Scotland or something, or New Zealand. I can't remember where. So I think it's interesting that he decided to come back and actually like get the property back, and like he posted a video in the actual studios that they used. So I don't know, but hey, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. It's exciting stuff. Some of my favorite like videos from them. Definitely, like, I watched a lot of Achievement Hunter back in the day, and one video, like, I love this video where they find the octopus in Assassin's Creed 2, which is part of the thing that inspired me to make that video that I have on my channel of me finding the octopus in Assassin's Creed 2. That was fun. And it was weird, like, I would watch a lot of their videos, and a lot of them were, like, games I didn't own and achievements I didn't plan on getting, but I just liked watching it, so... And now, actually, I've gone back and watched a few of those videos and have used their guides to get achievements. But I think they were just cool dudes, kind of just living the dream of what a lot of people want, which is, like... Well, a lot of people in this space, I would say, is, like, a great work environment where your passion becomes your job without ruining your passion, and just a really productive group of people to be around, a lot of people that wanted to be there and work together, which is, at least from my perspective, I know that over the past couple of years there were some controversies with some of the people that work there. And if you talk to, not that I've talked to him personally, but I've seen in videos like Bruce Green of Funhouse, and same thing with Lawrence, that there were a couple of people that they really did not like there, and they don't miss it per se, and they don't like that these bad people were featured prominently on camera, even though everybody knew about the bad stuff. So I don't know about all that. Like, I don't know what's going on behind the curtain there or whatever. From my perspective, though, that was like the dream that like I'd strive for, something like that, like a great work environment with just like great people all working towards a good goal, and like being passionate about it, or at least like just being passionate about it and just having a fun workplace. So yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on Rooster Teeth, and we'll see where this goes, how long Bernie will stay with it. But definitely exciting stuff for the world of YouTube. And yeah, I never know how to end these, but yeah, we'll see what's going on with Rooster Teeth. Okay, like I said, don't have many notes, so hopefully I can get all my points across with just what I've been thinking about. Next topic, something I've been thinking about for a while, actually. I wanted to kind of go in depth on the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is a franchise that I remember growing up and loving Assassin's Creed and playing them, like especially I actually really like the first one. We'll get into that, but it's a franchise I've played Assassin's Creed 1 through 4. Yeah, and I didn't play Assassin's Creed Rogue. And then I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since Assassin's Creed 4. And I've been like watching videos on the newer stuff, and I'm like, objectively, like, let's take Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I keep thinking like, man, this is a good game objectively. The graphics are good. I think the voice acting is good. The environment is really cool. Combat seems really fluid. Great customization. But I'm like, if someone showed me this and you took out the obvious things, I don't think I could tell you that this was an Assassin's Creed game. It kind of seems like they've kind of lost the story or the message or the point of it, or even like the look and the feel. So then they made Assassin's Creed Mirage, they made Assassin's Creed Mirage that promised to bring back the kind of classic Assassin's Creed feel. But after watching videos of that, I don't think that's true either. Like, I don't think they did that. Now, And when I say, like, I'm a fan of the franchise, when I think back, I do remember kind of forcing myself to play a couple of the games, mostly because it was one of the popular series at the time. Like, you had to play Assassin's Creed and Mass Effect and Call of Duty and BioShock and another one I can't think of right now, but that was just one of the ones to play. And so I remember when Assassin's Creed Revelations was coming out. My parents were very nice. They took me to GameStop. We pre-ordered it. We got the poster for it. And I remember sitting there and I was like, oh crap, I haven't even beat Assassin's Creed Brotherhood yet, which I believe was the game prior. So I kind of looking back, there was a little bit of like, do I really like these games, or am I kind of just playing them because they're popular? But I fell for it every time, and my parents were nice enough. I am so thankful for this. They got me Assassin's Creed Revelations. They got me Assassin's Creed 3. They got me Assassin's Creed 4. And after the fourth one, I was kind of like, man, maybe I don't like this franchise. Maybe the bloom is off the rose, so to speak. Fast forward to, what year was this? 2022? 2023? Yeah, 2023. I was like, I don't remember what happened. Oh, okay. So I'm a big fan of professional wrestling, as you may know. A very prominent and important wrestler right now is a guy named Will Ospreay. A big fan of him. He is very much inspired, like his look and his wrestling, or so he says, is very inspired by the Assassin's Creed franchise. And I was sitting here like, man, I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a while. I haven't even played the first one in a long time. And I was like, I want to play it. Like, I really want to play this again. So I checked the Xbox store and it was on sale. And I bought it and I was like, oh, it's fate. It was meant to be. And I'll be honest, the first Assassin's Creed game, I still really, really like it. I'm a huge fan of the very first game. Now, I don't know if it's possible. Like, okay, it is possible to go back and play it, as in, like, you can physically do that. But to be honest, like, it's super clunky. It's very repetitive. It gets to be the final chunk of it is a little bit of a, not quite a grind, but it's not exactly the most fun ending gameplay wise. Gameplay gets pretty repetitive too, and there aren't many different, it's like, go to this city and do one of these 3 jobs and then kill the guy, and then you go back to the assassin's hideout, and then again you do it again. Next city, the same 3 jobs, kill the guy. But the part that I think the voice acting is really good, even though Altair is supposed to be like from the Middle East. He sounds like the most American generic dude ever. I think Altair is really cool. I think the master is really cool. The music is great and the environment is really cool. I love the dynamic between Assassin's Creed, or between Altair and the character Malik. Those two have a really good bond, really good interactions. And there's a lot of great, like, philosophical, like, quotes about, like I remember when you save King Richard, and I can't remember what he says to Altair, but Altair says something back, and King Richard says, like, I think you saved King Richard. It's one of the historical figures prominent from that time. But he says, like, we've come into this world kicking and screaming. That's how we're going to leave. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of deep. And then there's one where you kill one of the guys and he's like, I know what waits for us. And he's like, well, what waits? And he's like, nothing waits for us. So cool stuff. The only annoying thing is, like, and you may have seen me talk about this before, but the Assassin's Creed novelization, The Secret Crusade, adds a whole lot more context to Altair, the character, to all the people he interacts with, just the story itself. And I'm sitting here like, dude, why did they not put all of this into the game? Especially, like, there's a character you meet in the very beginning of Assassin's Creed, like the first game. We're still talking about the first game. And he kind of looks at you, like, the way he talks to you and the way he treats you, it's like, it seems like there's some bad blood between these two. But you don't know what that is. That's never explained. Also, the guy kind of gets forgotten. He never comes back. Now, he might come back in Revelations. I haven't played that in a long time, but I do plan on it. I know that there's a few, like, flashback missions with Altair in that game. But the book explains like Altair's relation with that character, and that like it was something like Altair's dad sacrificed himself so that this other guy's dad could live. And then the other guy's dad was so distraught with this that he killed himself. And it's like, whoa, okay. And then the Altair tries to tell the dude, he's like, oh, your dad is actually dead. Like, he doesn't think his dad is dead, but he's like, dude, your dad's dead. He was, felt upset about what happened to my dad. And so, like, that's a great, like, storyline and great tension, not used in the game at all. So that's a very weird choice. But anyway, I feel like we've lost the track here. We're still talking about the game. But I don't know, yeah, like, I think the music is great. I think all the characters are good and the voice acting is good. So I still like that first one. I bet if you tried to go back and replay it, it'd be tough because there's a ton of, like, missing quality of life things. That's why I'd say the second one is my favorite, where it has a lot of that good stuff, like little things like when you're hiding in a hay bale, they'll come and check the hay bale and you can, hidden blade the guy, pull him into the hay bale, or when you're sitting on the bench and the guy can check, and he's like, oh, is this you? And then you can kill him, put him on the bench, and that's how you get away. Stuff like that is fun in the second one. Initially, I wasn't a huge fan of the second one because I liked Altair a lot more. I think, like, people might complain that Altair doesn't have a ton of personality, but I always thought, like, that was the point. Like he's a killer. Like, he's this trained assassin. He's kind of lost that. I mean, he's a little arrogant and brash and, like, cocky, but, like, he's lost all those other traits, and, like, that's the point of it. But now replaying Assassin's Creed 2, which I hadn't played since it came out. I played it last year in 2024, yeah. I was like, okay, this is good. And especially I feel like if you don't do, I think it's called the Truth, which is there's these glyphs hidden around the map, every city in Assassin's Creed 2, and it unlocks like these cutscenes. I think there's like 16 of them, and after you unlock all 16, it's one big cutscene that explains like, or shows you what's going on with the apple and Adam and Eve and all this stuff, and it's creepy. Like every one of like solving any one of those is so creepy, and it shows like historical footage and like references the apple, and then references parts that like maybe the Templars were here and like the assassins were here, and then the whole thing is like super creepy. I think it's Subject 16, is that his name? He's like mumbling in the background or talking in the background, like he can't differentiate between the real world and the Animus. All of that is just like that is like peak Assassin's Creed, I think. So it's like a real shame looking at this franchise now, and people aren't quite as interested, and we've kind of lost those conspiracy theories and like wondering like, okay, the Templars seem like the bad guys, but are the assassins also kind of bad? Like, do they have their own flaws as well? I'm excited to replay Brotherhood and Revelations and try to replay a few of those, see if I like can maybe see the things I missed the first time I played them. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm looking out my back window and like 50 birds just flew out of this bush. Oh, look at that one. Oh, they got scared because that hawk just flew in. I think that thing just stole a mouse. Okay. That mouse is not coming back, I'll tell you what. Alright, things have calmed down now. But I'm very interested, like, is there like a revisionist history kind of on this of like, actually Assassin's Creed was always bad? Are people just still really fond of those original games? I said about quotes in Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed 2 definitely has some quotes. Obviously things like, I won't say the whole thing, but if you know, you know, right? Like, it's Ezio's mother is like, you need some outlets. And he's like, I have plenty of outlets, and you know where it goes from there. If you don't look that up, that's good. Meeting Uncle Mario, and he's like, it's a Mario. All kind of stuff like that. I enjoyed that. And also, I thought it was like annoying at first in Assassin's Creed 2 that we're new. That we have to like, we start as this kind of whiny dude, and then eventually he becomes an assassin. But I was like, man, I don't want to restart. But again, replaying the game as an adult, I really appreciated those steps going forward. The one thing, and I always wonder, like, if it was intentional or if it was a studio thing that they had to do, having the game be set in the past but it's a simulation, and having it be like also the future. I'm wondering, was that always planned, or was it a studio thing to have the Animus? Like, I'm just surprised that they never did like just a full. Here, the game takes place in the past, and that's it. That's how from what I've read, that's how the books are. They don't mention Desmond. They don't mention the future. Well, they'll mention the future obviously because the Animus or the apple shows part of the future to Altair, but it's like they don't talk about the Animus and they just leave all of that out. And I've always wondered, like, I guess they kind of had to at some point. And it's just so weird to be like, here's an Assassin's Creed game. You're an assassin in the Renaissance times or whatever timepiece it is. But then there's also the artifacts, like maybe you could put in there, but then it's like, well, here's aliens, and Adam and Eve are actually aliens, and the apple was created to control human beings, all kinds of, it's like, okay, like that's weird. And you can't really ignore it per se, because that's how the second game ends. You like find the tomb and the aliens are in there and they're like, yeah, the sun's going to blow up and fry everything. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that information? But I don't know. It's cool and it's creepy. Like when it happens, I'm like, this is cool and creepy. But then I take a step back and I'm like, this is a weird part to have in this game. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I like it. But so I just want to know from anybody watching, like, are you still an Assassin's Creed fan? Are you over it? I feel like well, first off, that movie didn't help. Hopefully nobody saw the Assassin's Creed movie. Had a great cast, but man, that was a bad movie. And I feel like we need to get more war Assassin's Creed. Like, give us like a World War I or World War II Assassin's Creed. Give us a like Vietnam War Assassin's Creed. Now maybe like the whole hood gimmick, like characters running around with their hoods up and stuff, maybe doesn't fit every time period. Especially since like in Assassin's Creed 2 I thought Assassin's Creed 2 was like setting up, it did set up games to come, but there's like references to the Revolutionary War, and we got, Assassin's Creed 3, Revolutionary War. There's stuff about, World War I and World War II, all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, I would thought that would be like the building blocks for what comes next. But sadly, that's not quite it. I'd love to get past Assassin's Creed 4 and play. I'm trying to remember the one after that was like it was the Revolution. It was like the French Revolution, but I'm trying to remember what it was called. I'm gonna look it up again. Like I said, it's my podcast, so I can do whatever I want. I can just look it up. Thanks everybody. Hope everyone's having a good time here on Brock Talk. Just talking about some Assassin's Creed. French Revolution. Unity. Wow, that was easy. Yeah, Unity. I think people liked that one. I don't want to go too far past that one because that's just like too many games. Or maybe if they're good enough, I'll keep playing. All right, here's the part of this where some notes would have helped because I would have known how to round up this conversation. But basically, all I'm saying is like, I still like Assassin's Creed. I think it was an important franchise back in the day. Maybe now, not so much. But I'm glad it came out. I'm glad I played it. I'm glad I can talk to my friends about it. I did like the deep sea diving in Assassin's Creed 4 as well. That was fun. But yeah, let me know what you think of that. Where does it rank with like other game franchises? Is it as like is it up there with the greats, or is it kind of fallen from grace a little bit? I have seen a couple comments that are like what I said earlier, the bloom is off the rose. That's what I saw. If speaking of Will Ospreay as well, should have said this earlier. He did this great. They did a pay-per-view called All In, and he did this really cool Assassin's Creed themed intro, which had like the voice of Ezio like playing during his entrance. So that was pretty cool. I liked all that. That got me hyped up on some Assassin's Creed, baby. But yeah, I guess that's all the points I wanted to make. Essentially, the whole thing was just like talking about what I liked, what I disliked, how I feel about the franchise now, which is I haven't played like the last 10 games. It's probably been 10 games, like Valhalla and Origins and Unity, and there's another one where they're like in Great Britain. Syndicate, yes. So maybe not quite 10. But then they announced a bunch of other ones like Assassin's Creed Shadows, and so I don't know. I feel like I've kind of fallen behind with no hope of catching up. Now I'm just kind of rambling at this point. So let's see. We're at 32 minutes on the recording. I think that's a good bit. We usually go that long, and I'm very happy I was able to ramble and just kind of blabber to get to that time. So thanks everybody for watching. Let me know again if you have any topics you want me to discuss on Brock Talk. I'm always looking for new ideas. We're getting close to 8 goals, 8 episodes, which is a goal of mine. And like I said, if you have any thoughts on Rooster Teeth, let me know in the comments. If you have any thoughts on Assassin's Creed, if there's one like big important thing that I forgot to mention, let me know. But until next time, I'm BigHatBrock. I'll see you in the next episode of Brock Talk, or whatever video comes out next. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all next time, all right? Peace.